America chooses new leaders.
From Washington to our local races, we're there as the votes come in.
The races and the issues that matter the most, with your voice being heard on this election day. Fox 11 News at 10 starts right now. And welcome to a very special edition of Fox 11 News at 10 from our Fox 11 election headquarters. Good evening. I'm Elex Michaelson.
Thanks for being with us on this election night. I'm Christine Devine.
And I'm Marla Tejas.
Let's take a look at some numbers right now. The popular vote coming in for President of the United States. You're looking at the national numbers we're getting so far, with 65% of the estimated votes counted. Donald Trump looking good tonight so far, though many of California's votes are not included yet in the numbers. We are continuing to watch the votes come in tonight at this hour at 10 o'clock.
Much closer to home in LA County. This was a race we've all been watching. The one for LA County District Attorney George Gascon, the incumbent, challenger Nathan Hochman. And as the polls leading up to tonight had shown, Hochman is up 61% to 39%.
Now, the propositions has been called tonight. This one had a lot of voter interest. It dealt with increasing charges and sentences for drug and theft crimes. This has been called. Look at the difference in the numbers. That yes vote at 71%.
Now let's take a look at the national map in terms of the presidential results. We look right now in terms of the swing states. North Carolina has been called by the Associated Press, and it's looking like Georgia may be called soon as well. We want to take a live look from the Trump campaign headquarters in Florida, which is a celebratory mood. You see the room there is packed. Donald Trump could be addressing that crowd at any time. A very different look at the Harris campaign headquarters, where there is not very much joy right now. Let's look at some of the numbers. In order to win the presidency, Kamala Harris is going to need to win Pennsylvania, and right now she is behind there. Trump up 51.2 to Harris's 47.8, but there still are a lot of ballots that need to be counted. She's got to win Wisconsin. Harris is behind in Wisconsin. Trump right now at 51 to Harris's 47. And Harris has to win Michigan. Let's look at the numbers from there right now. Trump is ahead 52 to 46. It is possible right now that Donald Trump wins every single battleground state. A short time ago, Cedric Richmond, a Harris campaign co-chair, came out to her watch party. Here's what he said.
We still have votes to count. We still have states that have not been called yet. We will continue overnight to fight to make sure that every vote is counted, that every voice has spoken. So you won't hear from the Vice President tonight, but you will hear from her tomorrow. She will be back here tomorrow to address not only the HU family, not only to address her supporters, but to address the nation.
It feels a lot like 2016 when Hillary Clinton did not come out and address her supporters on the night that Donald Trump won the presidency. Connor Hansen is live at the Kamala Harris election headquarters at Howard University in Washington. It's got to be a depressing feeling there right now, Connor.
Elex, I can't stress enough how dramatic of a mood shift we just experienced here. Obviously, we checked in with you earlier in the night, and this was a celebratory mood. A huge crowd here, thousands. There was music, dancing. They were watching the live feed of...
Different story elsewhere. Donald Trump right here alongside his wife Melania casting their votes this morning in Palm Beach, Florida. Looking like a good night with this crowd here waiting for more election results to come in. This is Trump campaign headquarters where they are still there in Florida. We go live to Fox's Rebecca Castor. Rebecca.
Hey, Christine, I can tell you the mood here very different from what Connor just laid out at the Harris campaign headquarters. The excitement is climbing by the minute, and we are waiting for Donald Trump to arrive here at his election night party. We're waiting for word from our folks outside if the motorcade is pulling up here, but all signs seem to indicate that he's going to be arriving here very soon. We saw staffers on the stage setting up the teleprompter glass, so we could be getting remarks from him very, very soon. Now, Fox has called North Carolina and Georgia for former President Trump. So those are huge wins. So now his campaign is zeroed in on Pennsylvania. If he wins that state, he gets the 19 electoral votes, and that will win him the White House. So like Connor said, we could have the final results for this race. We might be able to call it in just a few hours.
Rebecca Castor, thank you for that. And so let's show you sort of what we're talking about. This is an iPad right here with 270towin.com on it. We want to bring it up so we can talk to you about some of those scenarios. Rebecca just talking about that. If somehow Harris is able to win Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, that gets her to 270. That's all she needs. But if Trump is able to win Pennsylvania, he's there at 281. He doesn't even need to worry about Nevada or Arizona, which are states he could win as well. Then he's at 287. And if he runs the table and does Michigan and Wisconsin, where he's ahead right now, we're talking about an electoral college landslide. Donald Trump potentially at 312 electoral votes. That is the state of the race right now, which is why those 3 blue wall states are so important, but right now not looking good for the Democrats. Better news potentially when it comes to the congressional races. Let's talk about the balance of power in the House. We want to bring Marla Tejas into the conversation right now. And Marla, we've been looking at these races that have gotten hundreds of millions of dollars spent on them.
Yeah, we're going to start in northern LA County. This is District 27, and this pits
The big breaking news of this hour, a very, very good night for Donald Trump. You're looking live at his watch party near Mar-a-Lago in Florida. They're all still there, and they are expecting Donald Trump to speak sometime soon. If it is confirmed that Donald Trump wins the state of Pennsylvania, based off of what has already happened, Donald Trump will be elected the President of the United States tonight. This is a picture from the Harris Party, which is no longer a party. They said, basically, go home. Harris is not going to be speaking to the public tonight, and you see people there leaving in despair. So what started as a party at the beginning of the night felt more like a funeral for people that were leaving. Again, it looks like Donald Trump will be both the 45th and 47th president of the United States. And he is going to have a Republican majority in the Senate. Will he have a Republican majority in the House? That's still a big question. Let's look at the balance of power right now for the House of Representatives. As we take a live look at the Trump headquarters in Florida, a celebration there is underway. They there are watching the Fox News Channel coverage. That's what's on all their TVs. And Fox News Channel has called that Trump will be the next president of the United States. They say that he will win Pennsylvania and win Wisconsin. And because of that, they all there believe that Trump will be the next president of the United States. He is expected to speak at any time. He could be walking out at any moment. We see many of his supporters in the crowd. You think about, Christine, the remarkable political comeback for Donald John Trump. You think about January 6th, and after that, how many members of his party came out against him, how he was impeached, he was almost convicted, which would have meant that he could never run for anything again, how he's faced 4 different major indictments, and yet Donald Trump, instead of potentially being behind bars, will likely be returning to the presidency for a second time with a Republican Senate and with a Supreme Court that has given him wide powers in terms of immunity. It is one of the greatest political comebacks in the history of the country, and he comes in potentially to the White House with an extraordinary amount of power.
I'm looking at one of those hats there that said, "Make America Great Again." That was his campaign slogan. And what stands out to me is we thought with these battleground states that the numbers might continue into the night, perhaps even days, where they'd be so close in these swing states, we would not know the results of the election tonight. And Marla, as we watch this here, as we watch these numbers come in, we may have some clearer numbers and a clearer picture by the end of the night.
Yes, and we're looking at specifically Pennsylvania with 94% of those votes counted there. Trump holds a lead of 51 to 48%. We think about Pennsylvania, we think about the assassination attempt, the first assassination attempt on the president. Trump in July the 13th, and it looks like Pennsylvania will, in fact, go to Donald Trump. In the crowd, we've seen RFK. He is there, the actor Jon Voight. That's no surprise. We know that he's been a longtime supporter. As we're now scanning the room and we're seeing people with their phones up waiting for Donald Trump to take the stage. You mentioned Make America Great Again. There's now the slogan of Make America Healthy Again. That is in a nod to RFK, because Trump says if he does win, which in fact all signs point to, in fact, a victorious night for him, that he will appoint RFK to his cabinet and give him widespread power within his administration.
It is now after 11 o'clock. This is usually the time of night when Marla Tejas says good night, LA, to everybody. Tonight, the whole team is a part of our special coverage. We've got reporters across Southern California, but the big story at this moment is that presidential race. And so we do expect to hear from Donald Trump soon. When he does speak to the country, we will bring that to you live. We will all witness history together.
And this could have been history either way. If the nation had elected Kamala Harris, she would have been the first woman president. We are still waiting to hear final results, so let's see how that plays out throughout the night. But
and it'll be the first time since Grover Cleveland where you have a president elected, leaving office, and then coming back for a second time. Let's talk about where Chelsea Edwards is at a party in Newport Beach, which is where Scott Baugh has been tonight, but it also is the California GOP party. And Chelsea, I imagine the drinks are flowing and people are probably in a very good mood right now.
You know, it was last call just a little while ago, but yeah, if people don't seem to be leaving. So everybody here is watching Fox News Channel's coverage, and they, of course, have called this race in favor of Donald Trump. And so people here...
First, expect to hear from J.D. Vance. Well, there you see Donald Trump, his wife Melania, Barron Trump, who is a whole lot taller than he was in 2016 when Donald Trump won. Yeah, you see Melania's father there behind them, Donald Trump Jr., the entire family. We'll see if Ivanka Trump is with him for the first time during this campaign. You see his kids, Eric and Lara Trump, who is one of the co-chairs of the Republican Party, his granddaughters.
Kimberly Guilfoyle Newsom in the back.
Yeah. And so this is a moment. It's very late on the East Coast, but here we go. Donald Trump. Let's listen in.
From the plains of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA.
Yeah, Associated Press is finally calling Pennsylvania for Donald Trump, so that makes him, with 19 electoral votes, he will secure the White House and become the 47th president of the United States, as we are live right now, looking live at his election headquarters in Palm Beach, Florida.
And you see his family there, Dana White, his longtime friend there, Dana White right in the middle there next to Eric Trump, and a triumphant moment. A man who was literally almost killed in front of all of our eyes has now been re-elected President of the United States, the 45th and 47th President of the United States.
Not necessarily what we expected tonight on election night. The thought was this would be neck and neck, with the vote coming down to several of those battleground states that still have yet to be called. But apparently enough numbers, enough points, enough votes to get him over the top at this hour right here on election night, and not spilling over until election day.
Ivanka Trump is there, standing next to J.D. Vance. One of the first times we've seen her this election. You see Mike Johnson is there, the current Speaker of the House. We're still not clear if he will remain as the Speaker of the House, but we do know Republicans have taken control of the Senate, and Trump will be returning to the White House.
Thank you very much. Wow. Well, I want to thank you all very much. This is great. These are our friends. We have thousands of friends on this incredible movement. This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And
Frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country, and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy? But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, we are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes, but it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, winning the popular vote was very nice, I will tell you. It's a great feeling of love. We have a great feeling of love in this very large room with unbelievable people standing by my side. These people have been incredible. They've made the journey with me, and we're going to make you very happy. We're going to make you very proud of your vote. I hope that you're going to be looking back someday and say that was one of the truly important moments of my life when I voted for this group of people beyond the president, this group of great people. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's good. And the Senate races in Montana, Nevada, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, were all won by the MAGA movement. They helped so much. And in those cases, every one of them, we worked with the senators. They were tough races, and I mean, the number of victories in the Senate was absolutely incredible. And we did tele-rallies. We did tele-rallies with each one of them. And sometimes we did 2 or 3 and it was amazing to look at all of those victories. Nobody expected that, nobody. So I just wanted to thank you very much for that. And you have some great senators and some great new senators. And it also looks like we'll be keeping control of the House of Representatives. And I want to thank Mike Johnson. I think he's doing a terrific job. Terrific job. I want to also thank my beautiful wife, Melania, First Lady. Who has the #1 best-selling book in the country. Can you believe that? Oh, no, she's done a great job, works very hard to help people. So I just want to thank her. But I want to thank my whole family, my amazing children, and they are amazing children. Now, we all think our children are amazing. Everybody here thinks their children are amazing, but that's a good thing when you think they are. But Don, Eric, Ivanka, Tiffany, Barron, there's Laura, Jared, Kimberly, Michael, thank you all. What a help. What a great help. My father-in-law, Victor, is tremendous, and we miss very much Melania's mother, Amalia. We miss Amalia, don't we, huh? She would be very happy right now, standing on this stage. She'd be so proud. She was a great woman, that one. Beautiful inside and out. She was a great woman. I want to be the first to congratulate our great, now I can say, Vice President-elect of the United States, J.D. Vance. And his absolutely remarkable and beautiful wife, Usha Vance. And he is a feisty guy, isn't he? You know, I've said, go into the enemy camp, and you know the enemy camp is certain networks, and a lot of people don't like to, sir, do I have to do that? He just goes, okay, which one, CNN, MSDNC? He'll say, all right, thank you very much. He actually looks fine. He's still like the only guy I've ever seen. He really looks forward to it, and then he just goes in and absolutely obliterates them. Say a couple of words.
Wow. Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me. And I think that we just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America. And under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. And after the greatest political comeback in American history, we're going to lead the greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
Thank you very much. He's turned out to be a good choice. I took a little heat at the beginning, but he was, I knew the brain was a good one, about as good as it gets. And we love the family, and we're going to have a great 4 years, and we're going to turn our country around, make it something very special. It lost that little thing called special. We have to make it so. We're going to make this so great. It's the greatest country and potentially the greatest country in the world by far. And right now, we're going to just work very hard to get all of that back. We're going to make it the best it's ever been. We can do that. If we had to wait longer, I don't know. It was going bad, and it was going bad fast. We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in. but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. Let me also express my tremendous appreciation for Susie and Chris, the job you did. Susie, come here. Come here, Susie. Chris, come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The Ice Maiden, we call her the Ice Maiden. You wanna say something? Come here, Chris. Come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background. Come here, say something.
This wasn't expected, but I just want to thank, obviously, President Trump for this journey. It was a great one, and he's a hell of a candidate, and he's going to be a hell of a great 47th president. And this team that we had, the best team, and, of course, even my boss, Susie Wiles, the best. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Susie. Look at this. She's shy. I've never seen her be shy before. Susie. They're great. Everybody up here is great. Everybody up here is very special. But the Trump, who did you say? Oh, let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon. Now he is. Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and different parts of Pennsylvania, campaigning. You know, he sent the rocket up 2 weeks ago, and I saw that rocket, and I saw it coming down. I saw it. It was, when it left, it was beautiful, shiny white. When it came down, it didn't look so pretty. It was going 10,000 miles an hour, and it was burning like hell. I said, what happened to your paint job? He said, we've never made a paint that could withstand that kind of heat. And, but I saw it come down and turn around. And it was, you know, it's like 22 stories tall, by the way. It looks a little smaller than that, but it's big. And it came down, and you saw that fire burning. And I'm saying, only Elon can do this. It must be an Elon. And I tell the story. I told it last night. I had a man on the phone. I had the screen muted, no sound. I was talking to a very important man, happens to be here. And that very important guy, one of the most important people in, I would say, the country, actually. But, you know, I was president, and now it looks like I was going to be maybe president again, so I figured I could ask him to hold. So I asked him to hold. And because, especially because you're going to be president again, they hold. So I took the phone down, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing this crazy thing that's going around and coming down. It looks like it's going to crash into the gantry. And I said, oh, no. And I said, do me a favor, do you mind holding for a couple of minutes? I want to see this. I thought it was a space-age movie or something. I put the phone down. Bad part, I didn't pick it up for 45 minutes, and he was holding. But this spaceship came down, and I saw those engines firing, and it looked like it was over. It was going to smash. And then I saw the fire pour out from the left side, and I put it straight. And it came down so gently, and then it wrapped those arms around it, and it held it. And just like you hold your baby at night, your little baby. And it was a beautiful thing to see. And I called Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He said, yes, it was. I said, who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No, nobody can do that. I said, that's why I love you, Elon. That's great. And you know, when we had the tragic Hurricane Helene, and it hit North Carolina, they were really devastated, the water. This was a big water, as big as we've ever seen, water hurricane. It built lakes out of nothing. Fields became lakes, and the danger was unbelievable. And the people from North Carolina came to me and they said, would it be possible, at all possible, for you to speak to Elon Musk? We need Starlink. I said, what's Starlink? It's a form of communication. So I called Elon, and I'll tell you what, he had, and it was very dangerous. People would die. They had no communication. All the wires were down. I called Elon Musk. I said, Elon, you have something called Starlink. Is that right? Yes, I do. What the hell is it? He said, it's a communication system that's very good. I said, Elon, they need it really, really badly in North Carolina. Can you get it? He had that there so fast, it was incredible. So, and it was great. It saved a lot of lives. He saved a lot of lives. But he's a character, he's a special guy, he's a super genius. We have to protect our geniuses. We don't have that many of them. We have to protect our super geniuses. I want to thank some of the guys. You know, we have up here today the U.S. Open champion. He's a fantastic golfer, slightly longer than me. It's a ball, a little bit longer than me. Just a little bit. Bryson DeChambeau is up here someplace. What happened to Bryson? Where is he? Bryson. Oh, he was shot. He's hitting balls. Oh, he's on the way. He's hitting balls. Bryson. Oh, look at him. He's got a great career going. Great U.S. Open, Bryson. That's a fantastic job. And we also have a man, Dana White, who has done some job. He's a tough guy. So Dana started UFC and came to me, do you mind if I use your, nobody wanted to give him a rinse because they said it's a rough sport, a little rough. And I helped him out a little bit, and I went, and they said, this is the roughest sport I've ever seen, but I began to like it, and he loved it, and nobody's done a better job in sports. And you know, he's a very motivational kind of a guy, what he does. He gets these fighters, and they really go at it, and it's become one of the most successful sports enterprises anywhere at any time. It's doing so well. I'd like to ask Dana just to say a couple of words, because people love to hear from him. Dana,
please. Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves this more than his family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years, this is what it looks like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit. He's the most resilient, hard-working man I've ever met in my life. His family are incredible people. This is karma, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves this. They deserve it as a family. I want to thank some people real quick. I want to thank the Nelk boys, Aiden Ross, Theo Vaughn, busting with the boys, and last but not least, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan. And thank you, America. Thank you. Have a good night.
that is a piece of work. No, he's really an amazing guy. But most of all, I want to thank the millions of hardworking Americans across the nation who have always been the heart and soul of this really great movement. We've been through so much together, and today you showed up in record numbers to deliver a victory like probably like no other. This was something special, and we're gonna pay you back. We're gonna do the best job. We're gonna turn it around. It's got to be turned around. It's got to be turned around fast, and we're gonna turn it around. We're gonna do it in every way, with so many ways, but we're gonna do it in every way. This will forever be remembered as the day the American people regained control of their country. So I just want to say that on behalf of this great group of people, these are hard-working people. These are fantastic people, and we can add a few names like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He came and he's going to help make America healthy again. And now he's a great guy, and he really means it. He wants to do some things, and we're going to let him go to it. I just said, but Bobby, leave the oil to me. We have more liquid gold, oil and gas. We have more liquid gold than any country in the world, more than Saudi Arabia. We have more than Russia. Bobby, stay away from the liquid gold. Other than that, Go have a good time, Bobby. We're going to be paying down debt. We're going to be reducing taxes. We can do things that nobody else can do. Nobody else is going to be able to do it. China doesn't have what we have. Nobody has what we have. But we have the greatest people also. Maybe that's the most important thing. This campaign has been so historic in so many ways. We've built the biggest, the broadest, the most unified coalition. They've never seen anything like it in all of American history. They've never seen it. Young and old, men and women, rural and urban. And we had them all helping us tonight. When you think, I mean, I was looking at it, I was watching it. They had some great analysis of the people that voted for us. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. They came from all corners, union, non-union, African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, Arab American, Muslim American. We had everybody, and it was beautiful. It was a historic realignment, uniting citizens of all backgrounds around a common core of common sense. You know, we're the party of common sense. We want to have borders. We want to have security. We want to have things be good, safe. We want great education. We want a strong and powerful military, and ideally we don't have to use it. You know, we had no wars. 4 years we had no wars, except we defeated ISIS. We defeated ISIS in record time, but we had no wars. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. But this is also a massive victory for democracy and for freedom. Together, we're going to unlock America's glorious destiny, and we're going to achieve the most incredible future for our people. Yesterday, as I stood at my last stop on the campaign trail, I'll never be doing a rally again. Can you believe it? I think we've done 900 rallies approximately from the, can you imagine? 901, something, a lot of rallies. And it was sad. Everybody was sad. Many people, I said, this is our last rally. But now we're going on to something that's far more important, because the rallies were used for us to be put in this position where we can really help our country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make our country better than it ever has been. And I said that many people have told me that God spared my life for a reason. And that reason was to save our country and to restore America to greatness. And now we are going to fulfill that mission together. We're going to fulfill that mission. The task before us will not be easy, but I will bring every ounce of energy, spirit, and fight that I have in my soul to the job that you've entrusted to me. This is a great job. There's no job like this. This is the most important job in the world. Just as I did in my first term, we had a great first term, a great, great first term. I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again. And I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. And we're going to try. We're going to try. We have to try. And it's going to happen. Success will bring us together. I've seen that. I've seen that. I saw that in the first term when we became more and more successful. People started coming together. Success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it, because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Donald John Trump, the 45th president of the United States and the likely 47th president of the United States, with an address approaching 3 o'clock on the East Coast. And there is the YMCA, that song, and the dance moves that he's become so known for. J.D. Vance, the vice president-elect, the Trump family out in force on stage. What a celebration happening right now in Florida.
Yeah, Trump saying it is time to unite. We're going to try. Obviously, we have not heard from Kamala Harris tonight. Her campaign saying earlier on in the evening that they were going to be counting the numbers all night. But with Trump picking up some of those battleground states like Pennsylvania, the numbers almost impossible for Kamala Harris to pull ahead. And their campaign saying that we would hear from her tomorrow. But tonight, a grand celebration there on stage with the entire Trump family and so many others, including many supporters he brought on to the mic to speak.
When we learned of the win for Pennsylvania just moments ago, that put Trump at 267 electoral votes. This is according to the Associated Press, so 3 electoral votes shy as we look at this map now of the 270 it takes to officially win. Again, this is according to the Associated Press. In the meantime, it looks positive for Trump to take Michigan and Wisconsin.
So let's take a moment to breathe and talk about what we just witnessed history together, and maybe we can show some of what's happening in Florida again, and just talk about what Trump just talked about. And we saw the folks on stage with him, which is a different crew of people than what you saw even when he was elected in 2016. You saw Dana White, who of course has started the UFC, out there speaking. Elon Musk, who now owns X, and the power of him and his influence on Trump's thinking as well. He talked about that. We saw the campaign managers, Susie Wiles and Chris LaCivita, were brought on stage, widely thought as campaign professionals, and that his campaign was better run than some of the previous campaigns. And they did brought him more in shape, but Trump sort of does what he wants. And we saw tonight him going on off prompter and telling stories as he does. He calls it the weave. He said that he's going to win the popular vote. We don't know that yet. A lot of California votes still need to be counted. He said that they're going to win every close Senate race. We don't know that yet either. But one thing is clear, Christine, a very, very good night for Donald Trump, and also a good night for fighting back against the establishment. Donald Trump, for so many years, has represented a sort of middle finger to the media, to Hollywood elites, and to the old school way of politics done by both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And tonight, in a lot of ways, the country is giving the middle finger to a lot of those elites by once again electing Donald Trump, despite the fact that he has 91 criminal indictments against him and everything that he's been through, 2 impeachments, all the rest of it. And yet he is going to be elected president again.
You know, listening to Donald Trump speak on the Joe Rogan podcast or another podcast, he talked about being a businessman who was never a politician the first time he ran for office. We heard the names that backed him, some of the big names, RFK, Elon Musk, Dana White spoke there, that podcaster Joe Rogan. And Dana White had said he's the most resilient, hardworking man I've ever met. A reminder there that Donald Trump is 78 years old. Joe Biden was 78 when he was inaugurated. And Dana White saying that he is out there fighting for the people, saying the hardest working man I've ever met. Couldn't stop him.
And that makes me think, when you're talking about the age, of course, you just brought up President Joe Biden. He is watching these results from the White House tonight. He is 81, poised to turn 82. This month is his birthday. He will turn 82 a little bit later this November. Speaking about those national results, the popular vote, Elex just brought that up. 72% of the votes have been counted there. Trump holds a lead over Harris, 51 to 47%. But Elex brings up the great point that California, of course, comes in a lot later. There are a whole lot of votes for Kamala Harris in the state of California. We'll see how that turns out. If, in fact, he does win the popular vote, it would be the first time since 2004 that a Republican has won the popular vote. As we're seeing now in the crowd, a lot of dancing and wide shots of people just being jubilant on this now, what for them is a Wednesday morning, almost 3 a.m.
Think of everything that has been thrown at Donald Trump. Since he started running for president, he went against the Republican establishment, beat the Bush family, then beat the Clinton family. He has been impeached multiple times, threatened with prison sentences, was shot at, has been underestimated over and over and over again, had almost every Hollywood celebrity come out against him, Taylor Swift, the biggest musical act in the world, the entire Democratic establishment against him, so much of the media coming out against him, so many opinion editorials coming out against him, and yet despite all of that, Donald Trump is prevailing, and many of those people that I just mentioned are in real fear tonight about what is going to happen next in this country with a president who will have a tremendous amount of power, have a Republican Senate to back up what he wants to do, and a Supreme Court, many of whom he appointed, who have not shown a lot of willingness to go against him in the future. You are looking at a very, very different America with this version of Donald Trump taking over on January 20th, 2025.
Let's be reminded, we are a very divided country. So now the Democratic Party is going to have to go back, Elex, and look at things and regroup after the loss tonight. And the direction of the country going forward. It was a very different campaign, thinking that Joe Biden was the candidate just months ago, Marla, and now we see this a loss here by the Democrats.
Harris took over recently, and she basically was saying, vote for me for democracy. Trump, on the other hand, was saying, you don't like the inflation, you don't like what's happening at the border, vote for me. And it looks like, of course, Donald J. Trump will be the 47th president after being the 45th United States president.
And the first Californian to be a Democratic nominee is now not going to be in there, and you can see a lot of fights coming between Trump and California. Thank you so much for watching our special coverage. Our coverage will pick up with Good Day LA at 4 a.m.
Good night.